Hey fam, I am excited to let you know how my experience was at the New York Food and Wine Festival 2023. I went to two events. This event in this video was the brunch hosted by Tila and Christopher Arellanes. It was held at Chef Arellanes restaurant, Caillou in Manhattan. We were let into the restaurant, had appetizers, and were shortly after greeted by the chefs. I will show you the chef speaking to us, then I will let you know what I thought of the food and the overall experience.
We're excited. We'll be expanding from there. So this is just a little bit on Q, American barbecue with Asian influence. But enough about that. I'm super excited to introduce Chef Jet. He'll tell you a little bit about the inspiration behind the menu and the collaboration, and then we'll get some food in your guys' belly. Sound good? Yeah. Awesome, you guys. Thank you for coming.
I realize I'm keeping you from eating, so I'm not going to speak too long. Like I said, I welcome each and every one of you. I will be spending a little more time at each table once we get the courses out. I just want to give a huge thank you to Chef Chris and his entire team here at Q. And thanks so much for supporting a great organization. Thanks so much for watching all of us on Food Network. And you're going to see a lot of this guy. I think this guy needs to be on Food Network with us. Don't you guys think? I also want to give a big shout out to Chef Mark Murphy. He has no idea I'm going to say this. I was waiting for the bite, Mark, and I got you. There you go. And stay for the cannoli. Anyway, this is basically representative of how good of friends we are outside the network. So it's really nice to get a little sneak peek. Standing orders. Have fun. Get to know the person next to you, and then the other side. Get to know your chefs, talk to your servers. As you leave, say bye to all the chefs in the back. And I'm gonna make sure that we each get time, because very few events around the world where you can actually interact with us, right? I think a lot of people build these things and then we're behind a rope. But it's important for us I want you to know that I'm a celebrity because you care. I am no one if you don't. I'm a cook at the core. So thank you very much for all your support. Have fun today. Feed your bellies. Drink a lot of this fantastic wine that we have, and we're really looking forward to serving you. So thank you. Anything else? Housekeeping?
If you guys want more food, we're here to feed you.
All right.
Speak up. Say something.
There you go.
Hey fam, so as I said, they started with two appetizers, one for Tila and another for Christopher Arellanes. And throughout the menu, they showed which chef contributed to each dish. And so for some reason, I did not get a chance to taste the roast duck. And when I and the two individuals at my table realized it was too late. And so he contributed, Chef Tila, the roast duck, scallion, hoisin, jiang, bing, and Christopher Arellanes contributed Thai tea Yuotao, or Youtiao. And so they said that it was almost like a churro. It was round, it was sweet. And so at first I was kind of bewildered. I was like, how is it that an appetizer is sweet, but didn't realize that I did not get the roast duck? So it made sense. You know, I rate food on a scale of 1 to 5. And so this sweet dessert for the appetizer, I had to give it 5 out of 5. It was delicious. It wasn't too oily. It wasn't too sweet. It was just right. I had a few of them. And then going down to the other courses now, we had from Tila the pork congee with quail egg and fried garlic. I think that this was the first time I've ever had quail egg. And this dish was delicious. It was comforting. It was almost like soup in nature, but it was just so delicious. The flavors were there. It wasn't hot in nature, but it was just flavorful. And so I didn't need any salt. I didn't need any pepper. I didn't need to add anything to it. I could have literally had bowls of that. It was just so good. If I had that once a day, every day, I would be happy. It is just that good. So from Tila, this dish, I had to give a 5 out of 5. Now, the next dish was from Chef Arellanes, and that was the Szechuan King Shrimp. So now, if you know anything about when you hear the word Szechuan, you know you're going to get heat. And the heat I did get. It was a little bit too much for me, if I say so. So it was a little bit too hot for me. And so, but the flavors were there outside of that. And because of the flavors were there outside of it being a little too hot, I had to give this dish a 4 out of 5. But the flavors were there in this dish. Now, the next one from Tila was Char Kway Teow. Kwayteow. This dish, it had noodles in it. It had different meats in it. It was so great. The flavors in this dish was so great. It was so balanced and so comforting. And so what they did on the table, they almost did it like family style. So it was 3 of us on the table, and so one plate would be able to share between 2 people. So more or less I was by myself. I came into the restaurant by myself, so more or less I had it by myself. And then if I felt like if somebody else wanted some more, then obviously you could share it with them. But this was a great dish as well. It was a 5 out of 5 for me. Tila was doing his thing on that night, or that day for the brunch, I should say. And so the last thing was the dessert. It was the Hong Kong egg tart with the 5-spice caramel ice cream. And so so it was a tart, but in terms of the texture, like that, the top looked like it was like granola base. Not saying it was granola, but that was the texture of the top. And then when it dig down, and so one of the ladies at the table said, it's more like a flan, and I don't really care for flan. And so it was, but the ice cream was delicious. I have to say that caramel ice cream was delicious. And so I gave it a 3 out of 5 because I'm not really a fan of flan, but I'm sure there's people, if you love flan, if you love those textures, it gave you like something, it gave you texture from the top and the softness on the bottom. The flavors were mild. It wasn't over sweet, but I just didn't care for that kind of a texture to me. It says an egg tart, so I guess that's why maybe the individuals at the table said like it was consistent to maybe like a flan. And so a 3 out of 5. That was from Christopher Arellanes. It wouldn't be a dessert that I would necessarily get, but the ice cream was great. And so what I thought about the experience, when I tell you these 2 chefs were the nicest people. Not only did they present in the beginning, before we started really getting down and eating more of their food, but they came around. We were able to take pictures with them. We were able to talk with them. They were very social. And, even Tila had said, because Tila is on the Food Network where Chef Arellanes is not right now. And he was more or less saying, he gets an opportunity to be amongst the people. And the reason why he's kind of like, as he stated, like kind of like a celebrity is because we watch him and we know him and we want to see him. And so they were great. I was able to talk to him. He was social. He spent time. It wasn't a bother if we called him over to the table. Both of them took pictures with us. Now, when you realize it is called the Food and Wine Festival, so each dish, there was a sommelier and somebody representing a company, and they would let you know which dish was going with a wine. And so people, don't let that discourage you. If you do not drink, they were serving water, and they were serving also not only still water, but sparkling water to the table. Also, if you have certain dietary restrictions, when we had the dessert, I looked at another table and they had vegan ice cream. And so therefore, in this setting, because it was in a restaurant setting and it was a brunch, I'm sure that you can ask maybe even in advance, but maybe they asked in the moment and they were able to get a substitute for something that was on the menu. So try it for yourself. It was a great experience. This was the first time that I was in town my home city of New York to be able to try it. Other years we're traveling and not in town, and I definitely want to do it again. And so you got to try it for yourself. It was such a great experience. I definitely will go back to it. And so it's right here in my home city of New York. So I'm definitely going to go back to it. It's for several days. It lasted from Thursday to Sunday. This particular event was on Saturday, and I have another event that I did on Sunday with Rocco Despirito that I have a video for as well. You have to go check out that video. This was my experience at the brunch with Jet Tila and Christopher Arellanes for the Food and Wine Festival 2023. Can you do me a favor, family? Can you like, comment, and subscribe? Click on the notification bell to be informed of future posts. And guess what, family? It is free of charge to do so, and it will greatly help my channel. Until next time, happy travels.